Though I don't actually know when, because if you actually look at the event list that we have over here for NA, we never got Nero Fest.
It's the 10th.
It's the 10th?
They announced it today.
They announced it today?
Officially. I already knew it was the 10th. I got to the end of part 2.
The 10th. Nero Fest is on the 10th?
No, Oberon.
Oberon is on the 10th.
Yes.
When is Nero Fest?
No one knows.
Okay, I have to restart this video. Hello everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Wokey, and after talking to my brother, he's told me Oberon is releasing on the 10th, so therefore I'm going to talk about him and had to cut out the entire beginning of the previous video I did. Yes, this is the unit other people have been waiting for, along with Vitch, so I figured now's a good time, now that he's 3 days away, to talk about him. So that's going to be today's video. Hope you like it. If you do, feel free to leave a like. Tell me how your plans are going. I've seen a lot of people waiting for Oberon more than Vitch, which is kind of surprising to me, but you know, I'm not knocking you. And this is how his banner's gonna look like. So let's get into it. So first of all, he is the first Pretender class servant that we're getting. Spoilers if you have not caught up with the story, I guess. We have Oberon on his banner, along with Gawain, Tristan, Bargist, and Tristan, female Tristan. There we go. Babo Sif. That's her name. Sorry, she has like multiple names. She's also called Trico for some reason. Not 100% sure. Haven't caught up with Lost Belt 6. Need to get to it eventually when I have 27 hours to dedicate to it. So, those are the units. I'm not going to be talking about them too much because at this point you should know all of these dudes are story locked, which is good to know because story locked is a lot like limited. Except for they're stupider to get for some stupid reason. They're always in story banner, but you should never summon on story banner, so they're basically limited, but with extra steps. And by this point, if you've been summoning on a lot of the Lost Belt 6 banners, you should have Barg and you should have Trico over here. And if you don't, damn, you really found a way to not get any of them. It's impressive. But let's go into Oberon. He is a limited servant. Like I said, he is a Pretender class servant. Here he is over here looking very nice. Apparently has not shown up in an event, as I saw a lot of JP people really wishing he would show up again. He has not. So, something to keep in mind when you're going to summon for him, I guess. His skills, he's 2 quick, 1 arts, 2 buster. And his skills are Curtain of the Night EX, increases party's MP damage for 3 turns, charges party's MP gauge by 20%, MP damage is 30% at level 10. Second skill, Morning Lark EX, charges 1 ally's NP gauge, 500% chance to grant them a delayed debuff for 1 turn treated as a buff, demerit, reduce their MP gauge by 20% after 1 turn, gain crit stars. 50% NP, and 20 stars on a cooldown of 6. Third skill, End of a Dream EX, increases 1 ally's buster performance for 1 turn, grants them an MP damage up boost for 1 turn. MP damage up is temporary, multiple to the value of MP damage up, unstackable. 500% chance to grant them a delayed debuff for 1 time, treated as a buff, ignores debuff resistance and immunity, unstackable, demerit. At the end of the turn, grant them the effect below. 1000% chance to remove their buffs, 500% chance to grant them Eternal Sleep debuff. Eternal Sleep, similar to Stun, unlike Stun, this status will ignore debuff resistance and immunity, and effect targets are unable to be selected as a sacrifice. 500% chance to draw attention to all enemies to them for 300% for 3 turns, and 500% chance to seal their order change, meaning you are stuck with them forever until they die, which will not be for very much longer. The buster up is 50%, and the MP damage up boost is I was going to say 1,000%, 100%, and a cooldown of 8. Insane. And then his passive skills. Get ready for this one. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Please clear Avalon Lefay if you want to know the name. Increase party's debuff success rate by 10% against enemies except for foreigner enemies while self is on the field, including sub-members. 500% chance to reduce the buff success rate of Merlin allies by 20% while self is on the field, including sub-members, a demerit. Territory creation E-, item construction A+, writing A Midsummer Night Dream EX, grant self mental debuff immunity, and also grant self a curse debuff immunity. And this skill right here is the reason why a lot of people asked for Merlin to be buffed. Because one of the biggest buster dudes actively doesn't work with Merlin and doesn't want you to use Merlin at all. And as a pen skill for the third, it's an anti-caster attack damage aptitude, just really out here for Merlin. Just not a fan. And his Noble Phantasm is the Y Rhyme Goodfellow, Tales of a Dream Told Over Yonder, rank E, anti-unit, 4 hits, deals damage to all enemies, removes their offensive buffs, inflicts a sleep status for 1 turn to them, 500% chance to inflict invincibility for 1 turn to them, and then deals the extra damage if they're of the lawful alignment. The damage is 300%, and then at the final it's 500%. And then at Overcharge level 1, it's 150% up damage for lawful enemies, and then at the end it's 200% up if you get it all the way to Overcharge 5. And that's Oberon. I guess I can start with his Noble Phantasm because I'm here right now. I never hear anything about his Noble Phantasm, to be 100% real with you. I had no idea what it did until I read it here. I had actually forgotten. It's like, oh yeah, he makes them go to sleep, but then you actually can't really hurt them unless you have a way to bypass invincibility, which, to be fair, a lot of units do nowadays. But you know, it's something. It's nice to be able to remove all offensive buffs. Not saying it's bad by any stretch of the imagination, obviously. I'm just saying I usually don't hear a lot about his Noble Phantasm when it comes to this dude. It usually comes down to this ability right here, the End of a Dream EX. So, Oberon is 100% a supporter for Berserkers, but he's a supporter for Berserkers on the last turn. Because you're killing whatever is coming up after this skill. Because if you don't, you've just killed the unit yourself. There is no getting around that. If you use this ability, they've made it very clear to you, this is the final blow of what you're about to do. And to be fair, it's a damn good final blow. The damage that you can get from this is absolutely insane. All it costs is basically losing the unit for the remainder of the game. You basically have a meat shield until they die. If they don't somehow die and the 500% chance to draw attention to them, they will eventually. There's just no getting around it. And yeah, he is, for how many demerits are on here, the idea like, yeah, you're going to lose the unit, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. That doesn't change the fact that Oberon is a fucking insane unit when it comes to just pure damage, and especially for busters. If you're someone who is actively a big fan of just like, I need my busters to deal as much damage as possible on the final for the final hit, he's gonna be your dude. And also the other skills that he have, which are very interesting. This one specifically, he's very good at like just getting the damage up and in general charging up other. This ability right here is also really nice. It increases party's MP damage and then give them a 20% charger. It's pretty nice. This second skill here, unless you're specifically arts, the reduced our MP gauge by 20% after 1 turn doesn't mean anything if you're using the NP right that turn. So it's not that big of a demerit, but it is for certain units that maybe are arts, I guess, or specifically Saber, who is an AoE unit, but I don't think she's really one of the units you want to use. Actually, you could probably do it. She does insane enough damage that it would be kind of funny that you would be able to use her with her. And yeah, there's not a lot more I can say other than this guy just does so much dumb damage. Everyone knows at this point that he is the Ender. He's not really someone you use for, yeah, I mean, you could use him for grinding, I suppose, as the third thing. If you're in one of those weird challenge nodes, not challenge nodes, but you're in one of those grinding nodes where it's like, oh yeah, I can use AoE for the first 2 waves, and then the third wave, they got a big-ass annoying unit for me to deal with. You literally just switch in Oberon, and Oberon's like, I got you, fam, and he will just allow your AoE unit to do enough damage that they are smoted from the ground that turn. There's very little things when it comes to farming that would survive giving them this skill. It is hilarious by design. It really is a skill that is 100% built around the fact that you are not the fight is ending this turn. If it is not ending this turn, then that unit is dead, and you did not care for their death. That's the only thing I can imagine in my mind. But yeah, he is insanely good, and he's been what a lot of people have been waiting for. He kind of, like I said, he works best with Vich. You don't want to use Merlin at all. If you have a Merlin and you're like, can I use Merlin with Oberon? My answer is, yeah, you can. But this demerit, you're just literally demeriting yourself for no reason. This is such a terrible thing. And it doesn't even matter if he's not on the... this affects the sub-members as well. It's crazy. They just really don't want you to use Merlin with him. I guess they were just tired of... I guess they were fearful of what potentially Merlin could do with a unit that had this much damage to him, and they just wanted people to use Vich. I always felt that they went a little too far, but maybe they were just that fearful. Sometimes when a unit destroys a meta, it puts the fear of God in you, and you kind of put them in a lot of limitations to make sure that they never do that again. Gallo Cleo did something to that, similar to that in Dragalia Lost. STR Gogeta is maybe one of the most famous examples where when he eventually they were so fearful of ever getting STR Gogeta back to the days of when he was the main meta that it felt like they hampered his easy A and then also made sure to never give him a good enough lead that could fully take it. That's why Omega Shenron was the STR super lead. Not the STR super lead. He was the god lead for STR. And then I think the STR super lead wasn't very good with Gogeta either way. There's fear. There's a healthy amount of fear of them being like, we don't really want Merlin to return to his glory, which is kind of a shame for the people who have Merlin. Not for me. I don't have Merlin, so I don't care. So I'm going to be trying for Oberon to mess with Vich and see if I can use him for stuff. Like I said, he really is just like... It's funny to think about, but it's definitely someone where I'm looking at what they do and I'm like, well, I guess if you're not heavy into Buster and you're not heavy into just like being sure that you got the guaranteed kill, maybe you don't have to go for Oberon. But at the same time, this man just does so much damage that I think it's crazy not to at least try for him. If you have like a multi to kind of go for him, I would say, hey, throw a multi, try your best, man, and see what happens. I think he's just that crazy good. And like I said, I don't think he came back. He hasn't come back at all in JP yet. They want him to come back. He hasn't yet. So if you miss him here, your best shot from this point on is GSSR banners. And, you know, not the greatest of luck for some people. But yeah, that's the end of today's video. My mom's home, and that's it for the video, everyone. Until next time, goodbye. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, bye. My mom's not home. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Till next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna have to edit this now. Shit. Fuck. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Bye. Snake drinking water.